Once again, Surah Al-Mubarakatul Fatiha for the marhumin of those brothers and sisters who have sponsored tonight Majlis, and all our marhumin. Surah Al-Mubarakatul Fatiha with salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله. صلى الله عليك وعلى أهل بيتك المظلومين. صلى الله عليك يا أبا عبد الله. صلى الله عليك يا ابن رسول الله. يا رحمة الله الواسعة ويا باب نجاة الأمة. ما خاب من تمسك بكم وأمن من لجأ إليكم. يا ليتنا كنا معكم سادتي فنفوز فوزا عظيما. قال الله تعالى في كتابه المجيد: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والكاظمين الغيظ والعافين عن الناس والله يحب المحسنين. آمنا بالله. صدق الله العلي العظيم. صلى الله محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum. Aspects of anger is the topic which I want to discuss about tonight. When I was trying to Google the topic, I chose the topic before knowing what was there, especially with the doctors, social scientists, and psychologists. Then I got this, that aspects of anger, they say problem, anger is frequent, intense, and long-lasting. The experience of anger involves a person's thoughts, emotions, physical responses, and behaviors. And then they go through explaining each one of these. So anger, when we talk about anger, generally, we talk about a negative characteristic of a person. Normally, when you are told that Fulan, this particular individual, is full of anger, it doesn't mean that he's a happy person. It is a good behavior. No, normally it is connected with negatives. This is normal. But when we talk about aspects of anger, I would like to conclude to say that there is a positive anger and there is a negative anger. Even though we as Muslims, since childhood, when we listen to Maulanas and scholars and ulama, when they talk about anger, it's a bad thing, generally speaking. There are people, there are scholars who talk about anger in the positive aspect of it. So anger starts with thoughts. yeah, your idea. Someone I met with, his behavior towards me today, I think it wasn't good. The way he was looking at me, the way he was talking to me, the way he was behaving in front of me. So your thoughts, yeah, starts with thoughts. I think he was bad towards me. Yeah, I was driving a car and someone overtook me to show me his car is faster than mine. So now thoughts come. What can I do? Let me overtake him. Let me show him too I have a car which is faster than him. So it starts with thoughts. Number two, emotions. You feel like, what do you think? Am I inferior? You are superior? So that emotions take you to the next step, and that is physical responses. Yeah. You may hoot your car. Yeah, you may also overtake. You may say things which are not good. And you may be someone you want to show that physical aspect of yours. I'm not a weak person. I'm a strong. So you show that. And this takes you to your behavior. Next time when the same experience comes to you, you take now your behavior, whatever you behaved in the first incident, you are going to behave in this one and the future ones until it becomes your behavior. When it becomes your behavior, then people, it's easy for them to say, he's an angry man. Why? Because of your behavior. She is an angry woman. When you talk to him or her, pay attention. Can we take Fulan in our group, in our social circle? The answer is no. Why? Because he's an angry person. It becomes part of your behavior. So now, when we look at this, social scientists, they say that there are 5 levels of anger. And some of these scholars, yeah, they may bring, for example, 3 levels, 5 levels, 7 levels, and so on and so forth. But I was touched by these 5 levels of anger. There are 5 phases when we deal with anger. Number 1, trigger. Number 2, escalation. Number 3, crisis. Number 4, recovery. And number 5, depression. Now, when we reach to the level of depression, then it is here, I believe, our scholars, when they talk about anger, they talk about this level, that control yourself. Because if you don't do that, it will take you to depression. You may think that it is a good thing, but it is a bad thing. But I repeat again, some of our scholars, when they talk about anger, they talk only about the negative aspect of it. Without looking, when they talk to certain people, they don't look at the positive aspect. In akhlaq, scholars of Islam, they have dealt with this issue for quite a long time. And in one book I remember to read, it talks about the powers which we have within our creation. One of the powers we have is the power of intellect. It is this power of intellect which may make you, when you know that you have power which is known as anger, you can either deal with it positively or negatively. When you deal with it positively, then you can calm yourself. You can control yourself. You can walk out. You can perform wudu. If you are standing up, you can sit down. If you are sitting down, you can lie down. You can sleep. Because why? You want to control it. But if you don't come to that realization, then anger, the negative aspect of it, because it is to do with your intellect, it takes you to the level of either you become physical and so on and so forth. Now we are talking about the life of Imam Musa al-Kadhim, salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. Allahumma salli. His title is Al-Kadhim. Kadhim, the one who controls anger. Kadhim, the one who suppresses anger. It doesn't mean that you don't have. I repeat again, it's part of our creation. However, when you suppress it, you control it, and you swallow it, then you can be known as Kadhim. And his full title is Kadhimul Ghaid. Ghaid is anger. Kadhim, the one who controls it, suppresses it. He uses it, but for positive aspects, not for negative aspects. Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam was born in Medina. His life was ended in Kadhimiyah. Even the area was not known as Kadhimiyah before Imam Musa al-Kadhim was taken to that area of Baghdad. For those of you who have gone for ziyarah, you know, Kadhimiyah, we have two imams who are buried there. Imam Musa al-Kadhim and Imam Muhammad al-Jawad alayhim as-salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Imam Musa al-Kadhim is known as Babul Hawaij. Bab, the gateway. Al-Hawaij, for fulfilling our needs, desires, and hajat. If you have any hajat, yes, you can go to Medina to Rasulullah. You can go to Najaf to Amirul Mu'mineen. You can go also back to Medina for Imam Abi Muhammad al-Hasan alayhi salam. You can stay in Medina for Imam Sajjad or Al-Baqir or As-Sadiq. But if you go to Kadhimiyah, to Imam al-Kadhim, there is a big chance for your hajat to be fulfilled. Babul Hawaij. Do you know that there was a Sheikh, Dr. Ahmad al-Wa'ili? Dr. Ahmad al-Wa'ili, if you Google him, you can find that he is known as Amidul Mimbar in Arabic. He was the one who is like a prince of Mimbar, Mimbar of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. In Arabic, so far, we do not have someone like Sheikh Ahmad al-Wa'ili. And I know many speakers today, especially from the Iraqi communities, they copy and paste him. So good in his speeches. Since when he was young, he is involved in giving majalis. And he traveled a lot. It happened, alhamdulillah, I studied under him. Some of my Islamic studies I took under him. Sheikh Ahmad al-Wa'ili, one day, he comes home after majlis. He enters home, the wife says, you know what, our daughter, I think, the wife says, she is going to lose her sight. She's going to become blind. Is there anything we can do? Something happened to this girl. Sheikh Ahmad al-Wa'ili said, I really don't know, what can we do? Let us take her to the doctor. They reach to the doctor examined this girl, and the doctor says, you know what, I'm sorry. There's nothing you can do. Take your girl back home. She's going to be blind. Sheikh Ahmad al-Wa'il was in Baghdad. He thought with the family, what can we do? Then he remembered, no, in Baghdad, Kadhimiyah, we have Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salam. Let me go. Now he enters, you know, when you have those hajat, and there's no one to talk to in front of you except your imam. You believe in his inner power and the shafa'ah which Allah has bestowed upon him. He enters. Now today, it's a different ziyarah. Yeah, you have those hajat. He doesn't see anyone except Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. He reaches the haram. After salam, ibn al-dukhul, he goes, he holds on the windows of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. He speaks there. Ya Allah, bi barakat this Imam. I have been serving this Imam, and I know in my Mimbar lectures I have spoken about Imam al-Kadhim, and I have told many people that he is Babul Hawaij. He can fulfill our hajat. Today I'm here to ask only for one thing. My daughter is in critical condition. She's going to be blind. Ya Allah, through him, I ask you to make my daughter to be okay, and nothing should affect my daughter. He cries, he comes out after the ziyarah, he goes home. They sleep. In the morning, this girl has seen a dream. In the morning, they go, they see the girl walking properly. Nothing, no problem at all with her eyes. Sheikh Ahmad al-Wa'il and the wife, they look at one another. They say, is this correct what we see, that she is cured? Or is it our imagination? Let us take her again back to the same doctor. They go there. They say, doctor, can you examine this girl again? The doctor has a report. He looks at the girl. He says, this was the one who came yesterday here. You brought her here. Yes. What did you do? Because now I can't see any problem with her. She's cured. Now they say, subhanallah. What did you do? Doctor is asking them. They say, we did nothing except we went for ziyarah of Imam Musa al-Kadhim salamullahi alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Babul Hawaij. Now when we talk about Imam Musa al-Kadhim, there are many aspects of his life we can approach. But one which is for us tonight and this majlis is Kadhmul Ghaid. Control your anger. I can say, let us take steps where we can say sometimes when you are in that state of anger, you are in rage, you want to carry someone and bring him down, then remember Imam Musa al-Kadhim alayhi salam. Say, oh Imam, through you, I want to control myself and Allah help me. There's this Dr. Larissa Weiner. Dr. Larissa Weiner has written the following, and I would like to quote here. She says, perhaps no emotion is more dysregulating and potentially damaging than anger. Yet many of us receive very little education about how to understand and manage it effectively. Sure, we have all been told to take a breath, count to 10, walk away, but these strategies don't always work without a deeper personal understanding of our anger patterns. Like other emotions, anger is a normal. Dr. Larissa says, anger is a normal, healthy human feeling that is neither good nor bad. And in fact, it is adaptive properties. Anger helps us handle emergency situations by providing a quick burst of energy and strength so we can react to threats of danger. Anger pushes us to reach goals by creating motivation through frustration. Motivation through frustrations. In relationship, anger encourages us to address outstanding issues. Let me pause here. You know, if you have children, sometimes when they're angry, they come to you and they are burst. Dad, why do you do this? Mom, why do you do this? They say what is inside them. Because of anger, it makes them to manage to say that. So it is a good aspect of that. Address outstanding issues, which facilitates intimacy and growth. How many times sometimes you and your wife and you fight. You raise voices against one another. Maybe sometimes it goes beyond that. But then after storm, the way they say, after storm comes sunshine. You sit down, you settle the issues, you start afresh. If it is in a controllable manner. Otherwise, no, it goes beyond that. She says, when not managed properly, anger can cause serious damage. Unresolved, recurrent anger can lead to health problems, hypertension, cardiovascular disease, interpersonal issues, damage, terminated relationship, problems at work, isolation, and so on and so forth. Decrease life satisfaction and physical and emotional harm to ourselves. So this is what the doctors say, and these are not Muslim doctors, but they address this particular issue this way. Now, when we come to know that there are aspects of anger, let me take you back now to the Islamic ahadith in order for us to remember what normally we read in these ahadith. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. In his hadith he says, al-ghadabu, anger is known as ghadab in Arabic. Al-ghadabu miftahu kulli shar. Ghadab, anger, is the gateway, is the key for all evils. All evils. The miftah is anger. Today, what did Putin do to Ukraine? He decided, no, you Ukraine, what are you doing? You treat me like a child? Let me show you. Bomb Kiev and other cities. The soldiers now have invaded in coma Kiev. And they said, we are going to make sure we are here. Are you going to occupy Kiev? He says, no, but we want to teach them a lesson. Why? NATO wants to bring Ukraine to be a member. And there is agreement after 2014 that Ukraine will never become a member of NATO. There is a historical issue here. You are going to cause trouble to the Russian state and their interests. So don't. So the issues now have escalated to the level now more than 100 people have already died just today. And many are going to die. Russian soldiers, paratroopers are already in Ukraine. If you look at all the silsila, the chain of events, you can see that anger is the key out of all these. And that's why the Holy Prophet says, Al-ghadabu miftahu kulli shar. In another hadith, Rasulullah says, Al-ghadabu jamratun min ash-shaytan. Jamra, charcoal. When you want to have barbecue, yeah? You bring charcoal. You make sure the charcoal is red and then you put your meat on it. Rasulullah says, ghadab, anger, is jamra, is a charcoal which has been prepared by shaitan. When you look at Rasulullah, he was afsahul Arab, the most eloquent one among the Arabs. When he uses these expressions is to make them to understand properly. Can you be able to carry the charcoal, the jamra, in your hand when it is hot? You cannot. So he says, beware. Anger is like that. Amirul Mu'mineen Ali bin Abi Talib, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. He says, al-hiddatu darbun min al-junun. Anger is one aspect of craziness. When you become angry, you become like a crazy person. لِأَنَّ صَاحِبَهَا يَنْدَمْ. Most cases when you are angry, after this anger, you will blame yourself. Why did I do that? What happened? Was it me? Did I use that language? Did I do that action? There is nadam. You blame yourself. فَإِن لَمْ يَنْدَمْ فَجُنُونُهُ مُسْتَحْكِمٌ. If you don't blame yourself, then at least you have controlled that madness. But still it is madness. Again, we read from Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq salawatullahi wa salamu alayhi. He repeats what Rasulullah says in other way, al-ghadabu miftahu kulli shar. Anger is the gateway of all the evil things which we do. And Rasulullah says, do you want me to tell you someone who is a hero? He was talking to his companions. Ala ukhbirukum bi ashaddikum. You want me to tell you who is the strongest person amongst you? They said, yeah, bala ya Rasulallah. He says, man malaka nafsahu indal ghadab. The strongest person is the one who controls, suppresses his anger when he is angry. Control your anger when you are angry. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam also says, man lam yamlik ghadabahu lam yamlik aqlahu. Anyone who cannot control, he cannot control his anger, he cannot control his intellect. If you cannot control your anger, you cannot control your intellect. So it means that you act without thinking. And it is here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Al Imran, the ayah which we started our majlis with, he says clearly, one of the characteristics of believers. When you read, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, those believers, you and me, inshallah, Allah says one of their characteristics, wal kadhimin al ghayz. They control their angers. Wal kadhimina al ghayz. Wal afina anin nas. And they forgive people. Wallahu yuhibbul muhsinin. And Allah loves the people who do good. So among the characteristics of believers, you cannot find a believing man or woman who is angry and doesn't control his anger. No, he's not a mu'min. He can be a Muslim, but he's not a mu'min. Because why? Wal kadhimin al ghayz is one of the characteristics of the people who control themselves. And it is here we need all the time to ask ourselves, when you are made angry, how can I react here? Yeah, control your reactions. Normally reactions come after something, but you need to think beyond whatever the situation you are in. Look at this individual, for example, who wants to cause trouble to you. You ask yourself, if I hit him properly, if I kill him, where will I end up in? What will happen to me? If I injure him, if I break his jaw, if I break his car, what will happen to me? Think about that. Let people call you whatever they want to call you, but walk away. This is the akhlaq of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. However, when we talk about anger, again I repeat, there is positive and negative. That positive aspect of anger is the one which makes you to do difficult things because why? You want to achieve your task through lawful means. Sometimes one may want to prove you wrong, or one may want to say that what you are doing is wrong. You want to prove them wrong, that what I know and I can do it better. Your anger makes you to do that task properly, not for the sake of showing off, just for the sake of proving that I can do it properly. In Africa, I know some people, they tilt the land by using very simple tools, not tractors. And sometimes when they are angry, they do a lot of work. Why? To say that I wanted other people to do this job. They didn't do it properly. I'm going to do it. That is a good aspect of anger. Sometimes you want to do your work in order for people to understand that what you do is for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You take care of your family, you take care of the community members, and you do it full of anger, not just to show them, to say that I can do it. This is a good aspect of anger. And it is this kind of anger Amirul Mu'minin Ali bin Abi Talib salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi, he meets with Amr bin Abdi Wud al-Amiri. Amr bin Abdi Wud al-Amiri, the one after he was killed by Amirul Mu'minin, the sister of Amr bin Abdi Wud al-Amiri asks, who killed Amr? Who killed my brother? They told him it was Ali bin Abi Talib. She says, I will not cry for my brother, because the one who killed him definitely is the hero of Arabs. Because my brother was no joke. No one would come closer to him. But the one who killed him, he's the hero of Arabs. Now look at Amirul Mu'minin. He goes to fight. Amr bin Abdi Wud al-Amiri, when he saw that now he's about to leave, to lose the game of fighting with Amirul Mu'minin, he either throw dust or uses foul language against Amirul Mu'minin, or he does something to provoke Amirul Mu'minin. Amirul Mu'minin became angry. And he wanted to finish him at that moment. But then he walks back. And then he comes, he finishes him. After the battle, they ask Ali bin Abi Talib, why? We saw you. You are going to finish him. What made you to walk back? He said, because he made me angry. And this now was personal. And I didn't want to finish him on personal issues levels. I wanted to finish him for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where have you seen a hero like Ali bin Abi Talib? And that's why when you say La Fata illa Ali, it means La Fata illa Ali. There will be never ever a person who will be like Ali bin Abi Talib alayhi salam. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. So you and me, from Ali bin Abi Talib to our normal lives, daily lives, how many people make us angry? And you want to use your foul language. If it is personal, control yourself. For the sake of Allah, do it. You will become a hero. You will become sister heroine. But don't go to the level of personal, and then when you are asked next time, you feel sorry, why did I do that? Look at Imam Musa al-Kadhim, salawatullahi wa salamuhu alayhi. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. This Imam, he was taken from Medina to Rasulillah. And he was taken to Iraq at the time of Abbasids. They caused a lot of trouble to Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. They put him in prison after prison in Basra, where the prisons are very hot. He was kept in a difficult way, but Imam alayhi salam controlled his anger. And he was been moving from one place to another until he was taken to this area near where he's buried in Kadhimiyya. Imam alayhi salam, when you look at his life, always he was full of sujood. According to historians, scholars, they say, Kana kathir al-istighfar. Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam was full of istighfar. His lips would be seen saying words most of the time is astaghfirullah. 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 Some scholars mention 500,000 times per day, Imam used to say astaghfirullah. Brothers, sisters, how many astaghfirullah have you said today? How many mistakes we have committed and sins we have committed today? But we have another hope that we will reach tomorrow and life will be okay. We forget that a death may come to us. We need to repeat astaghfirullah time and again. Kana kathira sujud. Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam was full of doing sajda. Yeah, one day Harun al-Rashid was looking at something in front of him and he said, what is that piece of clothing which I see? And the guards told him, no, that is not a piece of clothing. That is Imam al-Kadhim is doing sujood. And according to narration, he used to do sajda after Salat al-Fajr until sun rises. He's in sujood, all the dua. One of the dua he used to recite, maybe you have heard in our salah. Allahumma inni as'aluka ar-rahata inda al-maut wal-afwa inda al-hisab. This is in his sujood. Last sajda of salah. Allahumma, O Allah, inni, I verily, as'aluka rahata indal maut. I ask you, Ya Allah, to give me raha. There are difficulty, make it easy for me. Raha, easy. Indal maut, when I am in my sakratil maut. Make it easy for me. Wal afwa indal hisab. Forgive me when you are going to judge people on the day of Qiyamah. Imam al-Kadhim has never committed any sin. Still, he asks this dua. Allahumma inni as'aluka rahata indal maut. When we ask him, oh Imam, why are you asking raha indal maut? Then we come to know that, brothers, sisters, mu'minin, mu'minat, there is no a painful moment like a moment when we are about to die. That moment when our souls are going to be separated from our bodies, that is a difficult moment. Rasulullah, Habibullah, Khayru Khalqillah. When he was in Sakratil Maut, Amirul Mu'minin says, I saw sweat coming from the forehead of Rasulullah. This is Habibullah. This is Rasulullah. This is Khayru Khalqillah. Even though Israel comes to take away the soul, it's not a simple exercise. It's a difficult moment. Imam al-Kadhim says, Allahumma inni as'aluka rahata indal maut. Make it easy for me, ya Allah. When we read sometimes newspapers here, an actor died, actress died, a politician died, someone so special within the community died, they say a peaceful death. You ask yourself, is there a peaceful death if you're a kafir? A peaceful death when you are aswi, you have swallowed aitam, orphans' money, and so on and so forth. Is there a peaceful death? There is no peaceful. Imam alayhi salam says, ask for that. Allahumma inni as'aluka rahata indal maut. Make it easy for me when I'm about to die. Wal afwa indal hisab. Ya Allah, the time when you are going to count people because you are going to decide whether they go to paradise or hell, I ask you, Ya Allah, to forgive me because my sins are many. My dear brothers and sisters, when we remember Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam, then we come to know that Imam al-Kadhim was tortured. And these titles, one point to remember, titles of our Imam alayhi salam were given by Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. Imam al-Kadhim was taken from Medina, as we said, to Iraq. He's a stranger. But when you are taken, it's not like you are taken to good people. You are taken to bad people, to a prison after prison. He's tortured, little food, no even a room to pray properly. One day he was found praying in a very, very small place. And the guard was listening to what he was saying because Harun al-Rashid said, I want to know, what does he say? Yeah, the spy comes and asks and listens to Imam. He says, Ya Allah, I thank you. Always I've been asking you for a place for me to pray freely. Thank you, Ya Allah. You have given me this opportunity to pray in a prison where no one disturbs me. This is Imam alayhi salam. Again, brothers and sisters, how many rooms we have, how many space we have, big space, but sometimes even we don't pray properly. Imam alayhi salam tells us, remember, you may be in difficulties. Enjoy that moment. Don't blame Allah. Don't blame others. Take the positive side of that. Even if you are in prison, take that as an opportunity. Our Imam, can we, it's difficult to think. Imam Kadhim, during his time, he was the best of all the creation at his time. What happened? You are taking the best of the creation, you put him in prison, you torture him, no enough food, no enough drink, no good companion. Every day you torture him. Farzandane Rasulullah, grandson of Rasulullah, you treat him like this. Yes, Harun al-Rashid did that. And he was torture him every day until the moment came. Now he wasn't satisfied. He decided, now this is the moment I'm going to finish this Imam. And it was at that time he ordered a poison to be put in the food which Imam is going to eat. Some scholars say it was that grape. The poison was put in the grape. And when Imam alayhi salam ate that grape, he was in his sakratil maut. Israel came to take away the soul of Imam al-Kadhim alayhi salam. the one who used to say, Allahumma inni as'aluka rahata indal maut. When he was in Sakratil Maut, it was difficult, of course, moment. Imam alayhi salam passed away because of that poison. As if this was not a musibah. When Imam alayhi salam was killed by poison, the guards, by the order of Harun al-Rashid, they said, what can we do with the body of Imam? This Imam al-Qarashi, this is Imam al-Hashimi, this is the Imam from the clan of Rasulullah. Instead of taking good care of the body of Imam al-Kadhim, they took the body of holy Imam and they threw it in the streets of Baghdad. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. People were passing to that bridge and they saw a body, dead body of someone. And they were asking, who is this stranger? Do you know who was this? And nobody would say, because he was taken from Medina and he was put in prison after prison, until someone came and he said, I think this is Musa al-Kadhim, Imam of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. There were few Quraysh in Baghdad. Those were the ones who took care of the body of Imam, and they buried him where he is today in Kadhimain. Salamullahi alayka ya Imam. We say, oh Imam, sorry to whatever happened to you. Oh Imam, sorry for you. Sorry to you because you are given that poison. Sorry ya Imam because your body was thrown out and people were saying who this stranger is. But oh Imam, when we go to Karbala, when we go to Karbala on the day of Ashura, when we hear Aba Abdullah saying, Hal min nasirin yansuruna, is there any helper to help us? Is there anyone to come to rescue the family of Rasulullah? When Aba Abdullah saying, Al-ana inkasara dhari, it is now my backbone has been broken. This was the time when Abul Fadl al-Abbas was killed. Imam Aba Abdullah went to fight to protect the family of Rasulullah. Then he was attacked. Stones were thrown to him until that iron rod was used to hit Aba Abdullah so hard until he fell on the ground. He was very thirsty, Aba Abdullah. He wanted some water to drink, but those soldiers who were near him, Inna lillah, instead of giving Aba Abdullah water, they started kicking the body of Aba Abdullah. I say, Salamullahi alayki ya Sayyida Zainab. How was it easy for you to see your brother in that situation? Until when Shimrilla'in came and he grabbed the beard of Aba Abdullah and he started slaughtering the grandson of Rasulullah. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا آل محمد أي منقلب ينقلبون ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, Thabbit qulubana ala dinik. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Muqallib al-Qulub, Thabbit qulubana ala ta'atik. يا مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا محول الحول والأحوال يا مدبر الليل والنهار حول أحوالنا إلى أحسن الأحوال. Ya Allah, we ask you to fulfill hajat of all muhtajin. Ya Allah, we ask you to cure all the brothers and sisters who are not well. Ya Allah, we ask you to have mercy on all our marhumin. Ya Allah, we ask you, Ya Allah, to protect us from those people who have hasad in our lives, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, protect our children, make them to stand firm on Sirat al-Mustaqim. Birahmatika ya arhamar rahimin. And to fulfill the hajat of all brothers and sisters, let us recite Amma Yujibul Muttarra 5 times together, please. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء 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 أما يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف. يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله يا الله، اللهم اكشف عنا السوء بما شئت وكيف شئت إنك على ما تشاء قدير. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور، اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور، اللهم أدخل على أهل القبور السرور برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. صلى الله على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل